Welcome to the Digital How-To series. Today I'm going to show you just how easy it is to create audiences within the Facebook ads platform. So whether you have a business account, you would go to business.facebook.com, or alternatively you would just navigate to the ads link from your Facebook profile. In both cases you'll have the option to create a new campaign. So here we go, I'm going to hit create. I'm going to create a new campaign from scratch. It's going to ask me what type of campaign. Just for the purpose of the demo, I'm going to choose auction. It then asks what objective that you're trying to achieve. Most of them are self-explanatory. In this case, I want to send traffic to the Algorithm Agency website. So I just choose that as the objective and hit continue. Now you have the option to set a campaign name. I'm just going to call this test. Again, it asks the objective. You have the option to have A or B tests, which means that you can split different creatives, run them in the same campaign and see which one performs the best. Let's keep things simple and just have one ad group for this campaign. So we've got a test ad group. You'll see here that there's an audience measurement tool. So at the moment it's saying that based on the default settings, I've got 22 million people in South Africa that I can target. Obviously that audience is huge, so we need to refine that based on the type of behavior or audience that we're after. So we're going to leave the objective as website traffic. You then have the option to set either a daily budget or a lifetime budget. Generally speaking, it's better to set a lifetime budget just because you have more control over the total spend for the campaign. Let's just put 1,000 rand in. In terms of start date and end date, it's really up to you, but generally speaking, it's better to set a period of, say, minimum 2 weeks so that you spread that spend over time. Ad platforms do like to chew budget, so the shorter the campaign duration and the bigger the budget, generally the more it will spend. So now we have the option to either load a saved audience that we've created before. In this case, we're going to create an audience from scratch. So it's now on the default, which is 22 million people in South Africa on Facebook. So I want to target people in Johannesburg specifically. So if I remove South Africa, I then have the option to include or exclude audiences based on different geographies, towns, cities, regions. You can even change the radius select here to be more specific. In this case, I'm just going to set it to the greater Johannesburg area. You'll see now that the audience has shrunk from 22 million to 4.5 million. But we've still got a very broad audience selection here. So in my case, I'm thinking about the demographic of the people that would potentially buy digital performance marketing services from Algorithm. Kind of my thinking here is that if someone is 28 plus, they're likely to have some purchasing authority in their position. And just as an arbitrary value, anybody greater than 50 years old potentially isn't in the role that would enable them to make a decision on digital marketing. With all of these things, you have to make assumptions. Then we have the ability to select genders. In this case, I'm going to go for both male and female. And now we have a whole bunch of different options around detailed targeting. So if I hit edit, I now have the ability to find behaviors related to my target market. So I'm trying to sell digital marketing services. So let's go for digital marketing. You'll see here you can pretty much search for anything and it will serve options. Just pay attention to this bit here where it's saying either behavior or interests. So in this case, I'm going to go for people interested in digital marketing. So now if I hide this, you'll see we're down to 170,000 people. However, this is still quite a broad audience. And obviously my budget is quite small, so I need to make sure that I can reach that audience potentially 2 or 3 times during the same campaign. So I need to refine this further. One of the key things here is that you can narrow an audience by saying and must also match. So I'm after people who are of a medium to high demographic. So maybe I want to look for people that are interested in luxury goods because that's an indicator of purchasing power. So now I can say and interested in luxury goods, and we can see that the audience size has shrunk. So you get the idea. You can search and either include or exclude, and I guess the key thing here is that you really need to think about exclude targeting as much as you think about include targeting. So now I want to add some more behaviors to shrink the audience. So potentially I could say people that are not looking for a get rich quick scheme, or maybe a Ponzi scheme, or a what do we call it, multi-level marketing scheme, which would be an indicator that generally these people don't necessarily have disposable income. As I said, all of these things are kind of discriminatory by default, but you definitely need to make assumptions or you're going to reach a lot of the wrong audience. So now you get the general idea. It's up to you to navigate and choose the behaviors that you do want, but remember to exclude the behaviors and attributes that you don't want. Once you've done that, you could save the audience to use at future point in time. And that's how easy it is to create audiences within Facebook Business Manager.